Yeah, Neil, how about you throw some excitement into your
He's a
fights, buddy,
Haitian
please?
sensation. I'm losing $5 every time that leg kick lands, brother. You
I'm
gotta
like,
do
yo,
something.
look at my parlay, bro. Hello, guys, and welcome back to the MMA Brothers podcast. My name is Daryl,
My name is Asher.
and we're talking UFC Fight Night, Anthony Smith versus Rakic. So, Asher, can you take us away?
Yeah, so we're going to be covering, this is a post-fight of what happened yesterday with Anthony Smith versus Aleksander Rakic. Anthony Smith, in my opinion, came back way too quickly from that Glover Teixeira fight. Yeah, I said that in the preview, and I think I was pretty much right. But as per usual, guys, we start at the bottom of the main card first, and there was a fight that fell out. The Kuteleba fight fell out. One
Again.
of the two tested positive. I don't know who.
No, it's Kutilaba tested positive again.
Oh yeah, so it's tough. But
Uh,
probably postponed at least 2 weeks until he tests negative, and then probably 2 weeks from now he'll be on that card. But we're gonna start with the Ricardo Lamas fight versus Bill Agello. I forget how they say his name, but whatever. Ricardo Lamas in this fight, he did all right. I actually thought Bill was killing it in the beginning of the fight.
I think Bill won. He won
Yeah,
2 rounds to 1.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, so I thought, Bill was doing really, really well in the first 2 rounds. He was hitting Lamas with the jab kicks, and he was just like showboating. I think one time he actually got head kicked while showboating, but he didn't drop. I'm like, this Bill guy is made of something else. But there was that heavy third round that Ricardo Lamas got. So honestly, I can see why the judges could have given that a 10-8 because it was just so dominant, right? Even though Ricardo Lamas didn't really do anything, doesn't have that finishing ability. But yeah, he had a very, very solid third round. So if you scored the first two for Bill and then you gave the third round a 10-8, then you're looking at a draw, right? So and then
you can't definitively tell me that Ricardo Lamas won those first 2 rounds because they were competitive, but Bill was the one who was hurting Lamas more and outstruck him in those rounds. And it was a striking fight for those 2 rounds.
Right.
So to me, once again, it was a unanimous decision, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
That's bullshit. And the reason why it's bullshit is so definitively tell me what they saw in the first 2 rounds. Third round, I'm not even going to argue. I know for a fact Ricardo took him down, controlled him, and that was the fight. Which other round did Bill lose?
I'm not sure, but like Lamas landed a lot of takedowns. As you can see, it was 5 takedowns to 1 takedown.
Majority of those were in the third round.
Yeah, so strike, even with that heavy third round that Ricardo Lamas had, the strikes are still in Bill's favor. So like I said, the first 2 rounds,
and Bill also landed a takedown in one of the first 2 rounds. So tell me how it's a unanimous decision, dude. Like this is the thing I still don't get about judging.
Judges will usually lean towards like the more experienced fighter. Like if you have more of a name, Ricardo Lamas has been in the UFC for like, I feel like, I don't even know, like almost 10 years or something, right?
I know, but I'm just saying that it's BS. I don't think that if it was a split decision, I'd be much more lenient because maybe you could give one more round to Ricardo than Bill. Maybe, right? The round that Bill didn't land a takedown, maybe we can discuss that, right? Now, to me, I don't know. Anyways, we can move on. But I just think that it was a terrible decision in the sense that you cannot give a unanimous decision to someone who won 2 out of 3 rounds, in my opinion. A split decision, I'm cool with.
It could have been a split decision or a draw, because I honestly was surprised how like the judges scored it for Lamas so easily.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought Bill was killing it, and this is like this is his first fight in the UFC too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Yeah. So, anyways, Ricardo Lamas, I'm so happy he changed his nickname. He used to be called the Llama, Ricardo the Llama Lamas. He changed it to the Bully, even though he got bullied for most of this fight. So maybe Bill just needs to work on his cardio because that third round was bad. But he was killing it, and he has a bright future. And I think Ricardo also said that he may retire after this fight. So,
just a quick side note. You know what's funny? He had such a dominant round, and he's still losing the strike differential. And majority of not majority. He landed about 30 strikes in the first round, 30 in the next, and then that's when the rest of his strikes came in, right? Because they're showing the strike count. Bill almost didn't land anything in the third round, and he still outstruck Ricardo.
Yep.
So how could you give? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, it
That's
was
what I
such a.
said. I said a split
I was like,
decision or a
holy
draw.
crap.
I was what I was thinking, but like, yeah, how they scored it for Lamas so easily, I was shocked.
Anyways, we can move on to Ji-yeon Kim versus Alexa Grasso.
Ji Yeon, no head movement. Kim was
God
just
damn,
killing
she's a
me.
punching bag, man. Punching bag.
But yeah, South Korean lady was just there for the taking, just getting hit from overhand right after overhand right. And I was just like, yo, like she has a good chin, but like man, Alessa
Can't keep
Grasso's
eating those, bro.
boxing was great. And they call her Fire Fist. It looked like Grasso actually had the more Fire Fist compared to Kim. So
I
uh
feel like Kim was hit has harder hands, but she's slower. And Alexa capitalized that in peppering her with shots before.
mm,
Like she'd come in, boom, boom, and then she's out. You know what I mean? Like she's coming in super active and then out. Whereas Gian was trying to close off the cage and then to land heavier strikes, but she didn't get the chance to really do that. You know? So
yeah. Yeah, I think Grasso had the speed advantage. So that definitely helped her. And yeah, it's kind of like precision or speed over power kind of thing. And the speed clearly won this fight. And yeah, if I was G on Kim, I would say, yo, you gotta work on that head movement, you know? Like, yeah, and
not just head movement, foot movement as well. Like she's a very static fighter, and if you're gonna do that, like because that's like of the mold of Ngannou, like he more so sits on his punches. You have to be an aggressor to the ilk of a Colby Covington. You got to keep moving. She was doing it, but she wasn't as aggressive as she needed to be for someone who's not going to have any head movement. Because if you're not going to have any head movement, you're not playing a defensive match, right? You're trying to be the forward aggressor because her head never moved off the center line. It was just there. So I'm like,
yeah,
okay, if you're gonna do that, you gotta close the cage off much quicker because you're gonna get hit with shots because you're trying to close the gap, right? As you're trying to close the gap, you have to make sure the distance between you and the other fighter. Obviously, she's gonna try to circle out and hit you. If
mm-hmm,
that's the game plan, clinch her, take her down.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? If your
right,
game plan's not working, you got to be able to adapt because Alexa was just bouncing in, a lot of foot movement, good foot movement from her. Whereas Kim was more stagnant on her feet, just walking forward. Cut her off, show angles, fake one way and come in on the other side. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
then move your head, rope a dope, do something.
mm-hmm.
You feel me?
No, I feel you,
Because,
and
yeah,
yeah, and also another thing that she was doing, she's like headhunting the whole time. I'm like, yo, mix it up, throw some kicks, go to the body, do
yeah,
something.
yeah,
It was
she's
almost like a boxing match. I'm like, what are you doing? It was
throw
so
some kicks
confusing.
in there. Alexa, after the first round, I think she had landed like 19 strikes to the head. I think like 15 or 18 to the body and like 11 to the legs. Kim had thrown 20, 22 strikes to the dome. That's it.
Yeah, I know. It was just like one body shot and just all dome shots. I'm like, what are you saying?
Yeah. Yeah. If there's one thing I learned from this is you have to be a multi-dimensional fighter in the sense you got to mix up the strikes that you throw to keep the
Mm,
other fighter guessing. Because if you're just going to headhunt, they know you're not throwing anything to the body. You're letting them off the hook easy, especially someone who's going to do a lot of movement like Grosso.
yeah.
Leg kick the crap out of her, bro.
We're
If
gonna
you want
talk
to keep
about
moving,
we're gonna talk about leg kicks later because that's definitely a good point, and you know how like devastating they are if they're used correctly. But we're gonna move on to the
exactly.
next fight. You can talk about this one: Robbie Lawler versus Neil Magny.
Man, I bet on Robbie for this one, and I just thought that this would be his comeback. Like, no, no, no. Now listen, I'll explain the logic. I think Robbie has one punch knockout power, but he waits just like Tyron Woodley. He doesn't throw a lot. He lands when he throws, he lands, but he doesn't throw a lot. Then that's his problem. Neil is the most boring piece of shit fighter. Like I don't like Neil, man. Throw some excitement in there, man. Go for the finish, bro. Do something. Do
Everybody
something.
loves Neil
Like
Magny. Neil
God,
Magny
man.
is everybody's favorite fighter.
Oh yeah, he's everybody's favorite fighter because he does nothing. What does he do? When was the last time Neil got a knockout or a finish or stop? Do something, bro. Something exciting. I can't stand like listen. I like Khabib. I like Usman. Usman, he'll control you, make you feel like you're in his world. Nothing you can do, right?
Mhm.
I like that. He doesn't do that. He'll let you get up then take you down. I'm like, hey man, come on. You know what I mean? Still, knock the dude out. Do something. He opened up Robbie with bad cuts. I think it was in the second round. I think it was ending the second. Robbie's face was bad cut up.
Yeah, it was in the third
Neil,
round. I think. I think maybe like he started bleeding out of his nose in the second, but in third round his nose was badly cut.
Yeah, and then Neil didn't go for the finish, and Neil just decided to, rub his balls on the ground or do something. I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
Everybody loves Neil Magny. Neil Magny's the man. Neil Magny, yeah.
Hey man, good dude, very boring guy to watch. Like if you want me to fall asleep, like hey guys, if you like don't take any more sleeping pills if you're having trouble sleeping, watch Neil Magny's fights. Is he gonna do this the whole time and it's not gonna be entertaining whatsoever? Yeah, he pretty much does it every time. Oh, sick, sick,
Joe
sick, sick.
Rogan loves Neil Magny. He's like,
Joe
yeah,
Rogan
dude, man.
also loves a lot of things that don't make sense. So um this is what I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, guys. Robbie, it's time to hang it up, dude. I don't think you got in a dub in the last 4 fights, and you seem to be on a downward trend of not throwing strikes. I think Neil threw more strikes in this fight than Robbie threw in his last three fights, which is ridiculous.
Robbie looked terrible in this fight. We actually posted it on Instagram. You can follow us on the MMA Brothers Pod, and everybody was saying Robbie Lawler looked shot. He looked like a shell of himself, and they're all saying he should retire. He's been through a lot of wars. Like I can think about the Rory McDonald fights, the Carlos Condit fights, a bunch of fights that Robbie Lawler's had in his career, where it's just he's won, but it was not an easy win, and it'll take a toll on you. He's a human being, right? Like he can only take so much damage. It's kind of like how similar to Jose Aldo, but Jose Aldo is way more competitive than Robbie. So this is 2 straight fights. The Colby Covington fight, he got dominated too, and now Neil Magny, who's lesser competition, also dominated him. So I don't know. It's not looking good for Robbie. And Robbie as well. He was ranked 14th or something. So yeah, good job for Neil Magny. He looked great. I think maybe you were being too hard on Robbie, and maybe Neil was just the man. He just looked really, really good.
Oh, fuck off, fuck off! Don't tell me
So
Neil's the man. Neil's the
yeah,
most boring man. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Neil. How about you throw some excitement into your
He's a
fights, buddy?
Haitian
Please.
sensation. So he said he is in no rush. If he wants to go through 1 to 10, one by one, he's gonna do it until he gets a title shot. So
You
he's
know why? Because he's the most boring piece of shit that there is in the division. Who
yeah.
says that? Hey man, I just want to fight 9, I'll fight 8, I'll fight 7, I'll fight 6, I'll fight. Hey man, how about you throw some excitement and call out someone, bro? How about you get someone
I
excited?
wonder how
If
many
he was,
bonuses he's won.
and I think if he was UFC champ of his division, I would never watch another welterweight match again. Championship match, I'm never watching it. Never. Never. If Neil is the who's who in the division, okay. So now, guys, I'll ask you this: think about watching Kamaru Usman. Think about watching Colby Covington. Think about watching Tyron Woodley, old Tyron Woodley, not the new one who's afraid to throw anything.
Mm.
Think about other welterweights: Stephen Thompson. Who would you rather watch fight than this boring piece of crap? I think I took a dookie this morning, and that is more exciting than me watching Neil Magny throw down for 3 rounds. But that's just my opinion. We can move on.
Yep, we'll move on. So, final fight of the evening, the main event. Not our boy, Anthony's Showtime. Wait, no, that's Anthony Pettis. Sorry, Anthony
Lionheart.
Lionheart, Anthony Lionheart Smith versus Alexander Rakic. And like I said earlier in the preview, guys, I was shocked that Anthony Smith came back so quickly from that fight against Glover Teixeira. Um, I don't know what the coaches were thinking to say, like, hey, Anthony, it's a good idea for you to fight 3 months after you lost teeth in your fight. It was 5 rounds and you got your head pounded in. Yeah, let's just fight it like 3 months later. Yeah, it's definitely a good idea.
Trying to
So
secure that bag, bro.
yeah, maybe he needed some money or the coach. I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking, but I know he's got Lionheart, tough guy. He can keep fighting all the time. But I thought this was a bad idea, especially coming up against a guy like Alexander Rakic, who's a savage. Like the guy is so athletic, he's a savage. And like when the fight started, boom, guy just starts throwing leg kick. Anthony Smith, tough guy. He ate a couple. But then he's just like, dude, I got a lion heart, but I don't have an iron lion leg, man. Like I can't take these kicks anymore, bro. So even the commentators were like, bro, the sounds these leg kicks are bam, bam, bam. Like, yo. It was like nearly like a minute and a half into the round. He really ate like 5-6 kicks, and I could keep
He
going
got
back.
dropped. He got dropped by
He got
leg kicks within
dropped.
the first
I've
within
never
the
seen a
first
guy
minute.
double leg kick. Like he leg kicked him, and then he realized his leg was, hey, he leg kicked him. He was like, yo, Rakic. So
This is the way the fight was gonna go in my head. Like, yeah, Alex is gonna throw like a heavy head kick. He's gonna, Anthony's gonna evade, rush him in, and maybe get the finish. But then, guys, once again, if you're betting, never listen to me because I go with my heart and not with my brain. I'd love to see Anthony Smith come over here and get the dub, but how did the fight play out?
Did you bet on
Alexander.
Rakic?
No, no, I bet on Smith, but it was like
Uh,
small months of money. It's like a parlay. Like I didn't really
mm,
care.
mm-hmm.
Um, so with Anthony Smith, his issue is if it's not a stand-up fight, he's gonna get dominated, and it's gonna be really bad. Every single time he faces a grappler, he really struggles. Like if it's a striker, he usually has like a winning chance. Alex is a striker, but he's also a really good grappler, and he leaned on his grappling more than the striking in this fight, right?
What's your
So no, but I think it's because Smith couldn't stand. Like I think when Smith gets leg kicked, he's like, "Fuck, okay, let me pull guard." You know
Yeah,
what I
because
mean?
even I think it was the start of the second or the third round, his leg was so hurt that like he couldn't really punch. You know, it was just like, oh, I think it's
Yeah,
the
he
third
took
round. Yeah.
he took the power out of his legs. Like, good on him. This fight, if you guys wanted just to break it down, as we said, heavy leg kicks in the beginning of the fight. Weakened Anthony Smith's lead leg. I mean, you could have switched stances, but you've just eliminated his power source right from there, for right from the get go. He's not going to be as powerful right from there.
Mm.
Alex knew that, capitalized on it, kept him down for the first round. Into the second round, same thing, clinch work, leg kicks, head strikes, and it's just a tail. You know what I mean? Anthony would like try to went for his back, he got reversed, and you know what I mean? Alex is in full mount. It was just, I don't know. It was just super typical. Smith maybe take a year off, let yourself heal, come back and face a striker. I know Alex is a striker, and it was supposed to be an entertaining matchup, but other than the first round, there was no real big
He
highlights.
needs to take at least 8 months off, at least, if not maybe a year, because it's like, dude, you need to let your body recover and your mind and just come back like, fresh as hell. Like, just don't take another, like, I know, like, he didn't take a lot of damage to his body in this fight other than his leg. Like, he didn't get, like, heavy headshots and stuff on the ground, or it wasn't, like, massive ground and pound, whatever. So he did take less damage in this fight compared to the Glover fight. But yeah, I would yeah, advise Anthony Smith not to fight anytime soon. But
And
Rakic
I'm
is the
so
truth.
scared. I was so scared when he was fighting Rakic. Like, hey, dude, this is not who you want to fight coming off Glover.
Kid's a monster, man.
I'd rather fight Rakic than Glover than the inverse. You feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
Rakic, he's long rangey kickboxer who
He's
can
huge.
grapple,
He's
and
huge.
he's huge.
Yeah,
And everything he throws is when it lands,
you're
it's
going
night
to
night.
sleep. Yeah.
Like even his leg kicks, bro. One of them, when he landed the first one, I was like, "Oh, Anthony, better check that, dude." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Raise that
Yeah.
leg, boom, again. Ooh, Anthony, man, raise that leg. You know what I mean? Then boom, the Anthony went
Anthony,
down.
I'm losing $5 every time that leg kick lands, brother. You
I was
gotta
like,
do
"Yo,
something.
look at my parlay, bro. What are you doing?"
Hey, Anthony, man, losing money, man. So yeah, it's tough. And yeah, I think I said Rakic is going to win this fight. He did, and Rakic has now said he wants to try a shot next after Reyes and Jan Tango. But it looks like it may be Santos and Glover that may get that next title shot. And then Rakic may have to face the loser or the winner of that fight. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway,
I think he's the scariest matchup for Dominic, and he's also the scariest matchup for Jan. For the same reason, he's a very bad matchup for Anthony Smith. In the
mm-hmm,
sense that in the stand-up battle, he possesses so much one punch or one kick KO power. Like how Dom, his left hand is everything. You know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? Like his Dom's not gonna knock you out with his right hand or with a kick. He's gonna knock you out with his left hand. He's a
right,
sniper.
right,
Rakic can knock you out with his feet. He can body kick you, head snipe. He can do anything, and he can clinch well,
yeah.
right? So I think he's a harder matchup for Jan than Dom because Dom is very hard. If John Jones can't control you in a clinch and take you down, I don't think anyone else can in the division. So in that battle, advantage Dom in the defensive aspect of clinch work. Offensively, I think Rakic has more weapons than Dom. So I think that's going to be a really hard matchup for Dom.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the future is bright. Rakic is like pretty much one fight away from a title shot, or one win away, I should say. So he looked really, really good in this fight, and yeah, I'm excited for this guy's future. Like he's a really, really exciting fighter, and hopefully his cardio can hold up for 5 rounds. He says he can go 5 rounds, no problem, but we haven't seen it, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much our breakdown for the fights. Next week we have Overeem versus Kasai, is that his name? I forget how.
Sakai, Augusto Sakai.
Sakai, sorry, whatever I said. Augusto Sakai. So yeah, that's happening next week, and then after that we have another fight night. I forget who's fighting, but we have a bunch. Oh, I think the after that is Woodley versus Covington, right? If I'm not mistaken, or maybe there's another one before that. But regardless, the fight nights just keep coming through. The UFC is on a roll now. I think it's like what 10 straight weeks of fights and stuff. So keep it
There's
going,
nothing I
baby.
love more than seeing violence on my Saturday night. That's all.
Yeah. So I
The
think the
violence has
whole
kept me sane.
the whole Corona thing has got the schedule moving quickly, right? Because like now those empty weekends that they're gonna have now, they're just filling them with events, right? To make sure that they get all these events in the year. So guys, let us know what you think about these fights. Follow us at MMA Brothers Pod on Instagram, and yeah, we appreciate all the engagement, and we'll see you in the next preview.
Yeah, guys, thank you again for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, as my brother said. We'd love to hear your opinion on it. Let us know if you think that the judges got it wrong or right. If you think they got it right, please explain your reasoning, because I would love to know what the hell they saw. Because once again, terrible judging. Terrible. Like that, I can't see justification for that decision. The rest of the night was whatever. They were pretty decisive in their own way. Like you couldn't really score it the other way in the other fights because they're all decisions. And they're fairly dominant. But that one, like, come on, dude. That's ridiculous. But anyways, thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.